This is Jimmy. Jimmy watched The Queen's Gambit on Netflix and wanted to get good at chess. But how? Well, like his idol, Seto Kaiba, he knew exactly what to do. As some of you may know, Seto Kaiba once bested Gozaburo Kaiba in a game of chess to convince the man to adopt him and his little brother Mokuba. In order to do that, he first had to become a master of the game itself. There are 1,327 named openings in chess, and just like how Kaiba has his 3 blue eyes, we're gonna focus on the main 3 that made him the grandmaster that he is today. The first is the simplest, but the most effective. What you'll need is 3 things: a chessboard, an opponent, and a member of your close family at hand within proximity of the game. Preferably, a younger, weaker brother who can be easily overpowered and strategically placed in various locations. More about this later in the video. And if you at home want to learn how to treat your family right, like Seto Kaiba, then check out last week's video, How to Be a Good Brother like Seto Kaiba. Now, on with the video. The white player, the unsuspecting loser, not our winner Jimmy here, will open with the classic move of pawn to e4. How predictable. We retaliate with the intelligent defense of pawn to e5. This is where it gets interesting. White will naturally move their bishop to c4, and we'll retaliate again by advancing one of our brave knights, one of our noble Kaiba men, to c6. Take a breather. Take a moment to look at the battlefield. Watch as they advance their queen to f3. This is all part of the plan. We want them to advance. We want them to think they can win, so that we can later deploy the gambit. Pawn to d6. The last move that we need to make on this board. Experts amongst you might notice that with one move the white player can win, or at least you might think they can win. What you and that white player will have failed to notice is that our equivalent of a Mokuba, a close family member, has been placed on a ledge nearby. That if the queen takes the pawn, the blast will knock them clean off, sending them plummeting to their gruesome death. No willing opponent will want to commit murder. A crime that could land them a life sentence, and they'll naturally forfeit the game to you. Congratulations, Jimmy. You're well on your way to becoming a grandmaster. Their king will be toppled, and your family member will not. This is why we call it the Mokuba Gambit. Now, take note that this opening only works once, so use it wisely. Now I hear what you're saying, Jimmy. Worry not. This is why we have other strategies to fall back on. This next move is a little more complicated, but bear with me, it's guaranteed to work. It's worth noting that the next strategy works on a various number of different board states, but for the sake of this video, we'll show you one where you can force it into play. If you're like Jimmy here, and you find yourself in a situation like this one, which usually follows after an opponent opens with pawn 4 and has since moved to advance one of their knights to b3, you can force them to take the Maiden's Gambit. We move our maiden, our queen, to h4, placing the opponent in check. They have to respond with pawn to g3. We destroy it. We send it to their graveyard where it belongs. Now, we want them to take our queen. They have to or they'll lose. It's all part of the plan. When our queen is destroyed, her special ability will activate, summoning the Blue Eyes White Dragon from our deck. Slam that baby down into the middle of the board and declare yourself the winner. Climb atop the table and scream, "White Lightning!" at the top of your lungs and force your opponent into checkmate. Take it away, Jimmy. Show that pathetic loser Yugi who the real king of games is. In fact, why stop there? They stood no chance against 1 Blue Eyes, so what could they possibly do against 3? Some people at this stage might begin to question where it says in the rules that the queen even has a special ability. Well, I'd like you to show me where it says she doesn't. Show me in the rules where it says that we can't summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon onto our board. I can't see it. Can you? Jimmy here learns from the best, and if the rules don't apply to Seto Kaiba, then they definitely shouldn't apply to you! At this stage, you probably don't even need a third opening, but this couldn't be any further from the truth. Right before, we won with the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now we'll win with another kind. This one is called the Sicilian Dragon, and for good reason. We go back to basics. Pawn to e4. They move to c5. We move a knight to c3. They retaliate with d6, and we go d4. They take d4, we take d4, f4, g5, b6, hit, f3, miss, b7, f3, b5, q5, z16, b17, t34, bingo, f6, g1, e3, you've got them on the ropes, a6, b5, draw 2, hold the line, b6, hold the door, Gondor calls for aid, b6 again, c5, e6, f4, check, a7, a6, a5, a4, we're almost there, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year! And just like that, there she is. Isn't she beautiful? The great Sicilian dragon, terror of the chess world, in all her glory. The king falls. Check and mate. Well done to me. You navigated a harsh world of chess, and you declared yourself its supreme ruler, the ultimate grandmaster, and the rightful king of games.